All right, looks like we should have everyone here, so we can go ahead and jump in. Thanks for joining our webinar today. This specific webinar is the Hours Plus Getting Started as a Crew Member webinar. We're going to take a look at a couple different situations that crew members may go through in Hours Plus as far as time cards go. We'll take a look at how to review a time card that was created for you and sign and approve it. We'll take a look at how to edit a time card that was created for you and then submit it for approval. And then lastly, we'll take a look at how to just create a time card from scratch, a completely blank slate. Because some projects, you're going to have department heads creating time cards for you, and others you'll be responsible as the crew member to create your own time card and submit it. So we'll cover all those situations in case anyone on the call has to deal with any of those situations. Before I fully dive in, we'll just cover some housekeeping type of things. I'll be using a fake environment. All the information you're going to see on my screen is fake information, test data, testing projects. All that stuff we're going to see is testing data. We use testing environments just so we don't show any real information of real people out there. But all the steps I take will be the same ones you take in your real environments, your real projects. But mine may look and act a little differently than yours just because we do use these environments to test out features. If you have questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to put them in the chat. We hold questions until the end just to make sure we get through all the content we need to get through and that we don't get sidetracked and lose track of time and run out of time. So if you have questions that pop into your head throughout, feel free to put them in chat and we'll visit them at the end. I'll also share some additional resources at the end too, like our online academy that has a bunch of learning content, free learning content, covers everything we talk about in our webinars, also has some interactive lessons like simulation where you get to try out certain things within our software. So you can kind of get some practice in. All right. Go ahead and dive in here. So I'm logged in right now as a crew member. Like I said, I'm logged in as a fake crew member and I'm on my dashboard. So this is what you're going to see when you first log in. It's going to give you some good high-level information right from the second you log in, like your recent time cards, your recent pay stubs. Of course, this is a fake project. We don't actually pay anyone, but you would see your pay stubs here. You have some tasks, any recent offers you may have. You would see your year-to-date pay and any FAQs you may have. You can expand these, check out the answers. If you are on your phone, because there's a good chance you'll be doing time cards from your mobile device, you'll still see all the same information. You'll see if I just shrink it down, it just turns into one long column, and you can expand and collapse things as well. But all the information is there, just got to scroll all the way through it. Whereas if you're on your computer, you just have a lot more real estate area. Now, we're going to cover those three different situations I mentioned. We'll first cover just signing off on a time card that was created for you, as in you agree with everything and you just want to sign it and get paid. You can see here we do have a time card that says it's ready for me, the person who's logged in. So this one is waiting on my approval as crew member Thomas Validation. I have a couple options here. I can click directly on this time card. It'll take me right to it. Or I can use this app switcher button and open up Hours Plus. And from there, select the time card. This is a little bit quicker, obviously. It's going to take you directly to that time card. It'll save you like 2 to 3 clicks. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just click directly on this time card and click review. It's going to take me right to it. And again, this was created for us. So we're going to see all of our hours filled out. Everything was entered for us by a department head and sent to us for our review and approval. Your time card has a few different tabs. You got your time card tab that is actually your in and out times, your allowances tab, any comments that were left by anybody, including yourself if you want to add any, and the history. So we can see here that the times are filled out, but we can't approve it yet, and it's because of this warning right here. So looks like we have a allowance that requires a supporting document. And yes, we do. We have a box rental. You can see also that Hours Plus will pull any allowances that were part of your deal memo. So we can see the difference here. This one was manually added. So that means whoever created this time card for us added this cell phone allowance. But this non-box rental, non-taxable came from our deal memo. That was part of our deal memo that we signed for our project. So it gets automatically attached for us. We don't have to do that each and every week. But it does require a document. So our project is requiring us to upload a supporting document that proves, like a box rental inventory list, something that proves that we actually do need to get paid for a box rental. So I can do a couple of things. You can see them on the allowances tab. I can click document required here, or you can also, when you first open the time card, click directly on this warning. It'll take you right to the upload screen. So I'll add my required document. Should have a fake one I can just throw in there. There we go. So I just attached a box rental. If you're doing this from your phone, you can attach it as a picture that you take, or a picture you already have on your phone, or you can attach it as a file from your phone. It is all mobile friendly. I'll go ahead and save that. And now we can see that approve button has lit up because we took care of that warning and everything else is filled out. If you are on your phone and you're reviewing this time card, just so you're aware the difference, when you're on your mobile device, you're not going to see all the in and out times displayed out. You're going to see this more compact view. You're still going to have your tabs up here. But in order to see the hours that are actually entered on each day, you'd be tapping on each day. Open Monday up and you can see the details. You can open Wednesday up, see the details. So that's the big difference, is that on your phone, you have to tap to see the in and out times just because of the smaller screen. Whereas if you're on your computer or desktop, you're going to have a lot more space and everything will just be spelled out for you. Now, we're going to pretend everything is perfect. We're ready to sign off on this. We want to get this sent off to the payroll accountant so that we can get paid for our hard work this week. So with everything good to go, we're going to hit approve, and we're going to type in our first and last name as it appears right down here. And that is us signing the time card. That is us agreeing and approving that this time card that was created for us was correct, and you approve it, and on it will go throughout the approval workflow. So again, that is everything is good. You agree with everything on the time card, click approve, enter your first and last name, and click approve. But I'm going to use this time card for our other situation. So now that you know how to approve a time card, pretty straightforward, click approve and sign it. We'll pretend that this is a different time card and I don't agree with everything. I need to change something. So this is a time card that was created for me, but I need to edit it. Something is incorrect. And what we're going to say is that we worked later on Monday. We had to stay late to finish something. So we're going to change our wrap time on Monday. So you may have noticed it already. Button right next to approve is the edit button. So again, if you have a time card created for you that you don't agree with, you'll click edit. It's going to ask you to enter a comment because you are rejecting the time card that was created for you. You need to add a comment as to why. It is very, very important that you add a detailed comment here. If you just put in, I need to change something without really saying what you're changing, there's a good chance your department head or your payroll accountant's going to try to track you down and say, what did you change? So the more specific you are in this, the less likely that your time card will be paused in processing and the faster you'll get paid. So I'm going to be specific and say I stayed late on Monday and I updated my wrap time. So we'll confirm our comment. You'll see it gets added as a comment for us. I can add more if I need to. But now this whole time card has opened up. I can change whatever I need to on it because I hit that edit button. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say I stayed until 9:30 p.m. So there's my change. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And it's going to ask me, all right, it's saved. Are you ready to submit? And if I am, I can hit submit. If I needed to make more changes, I can click keep making changes. But that was the only change I needed to make. So yes, let's submit it. And now we're signing it again, but now we're signing it and saying that I made changes and I approve the changes I made and you need to review it, department head. And now we'll send this off and we're going to see the status change to ready for department head. There we go. All right. Now we're going to go over creating a time card from scratch. So I can go back to my dashboard just to show you there's two different routes to get there. If you remember our dashboard here, we have the option to create right from here. And that'll ask us which project we want to create a time card for. Or again, I can go to Hours Plus from my app switcher. And then it'll ask me which project I want to create one for. And then I'll have a create button here. If you're on your phone, that create button is going to move into the bottom right. So you have either option from the dashboard, or once you get into the project, you'll have a create button. So we'll go right from here since we're already on the screen. And all right, so it looks very familiar, except of course, nothing is filled out. So now we're just creating a time card from scratch. So you're going to choose which work week you want to create the time card for. You do have an option to copy from a previous week. So for example, if you worked similar hours week ending 6/28 as you did week ending 5/24, you can select this week ending. It's going to grab all the details. You can still make changes to it, but it's just going to pre-fill everything for you. So if you had similar hours from a previous week, you can copy from that week to save some time. But because there's a chance someone on this call has never created a time card before in Hours Plus, I'm not going to copy. We're just going to do it from a blank slate. You have an option here to change your deal memo. So if you are someone on a project that has signed more than one deal memo, you can click that deal button and it's going to show you all the different deal memos you have signed. So you can see here that Thomas has 2 production assistant deal memos, and sometimes Thomas is a Steadicam operator. So I can switch my deal memo if I need to, saying I worked as my Steadicam this week, or I did work as a production assistant this week. So you do have that option as well. You also have the option, of course, if you only worked that position 1 or 2 days a week, you can leave a comment on the time card, and then later on once it gets to the payroll column, they can always update your deal memo for a single day of the week. You selecting it from here is going to be for the entire week. So just keep that in mind. You have the same tabs we saw before: time card, allowances, comments, and history. You have a more options button here. This button is going to give you the option to turn on or off military time. So whatever you prefer typing in when you're creating your time cards, and also the option to add more fields. So if you had like a second meal, you can click this and it'll add it as another column for you to fill in. If you're not sure what something means, you have these little question marks you can click on and read those descriptions as far as what that would mean. That more options button does change locations. If you are on your mobile device, that more options button is going to be hidden inside of a day. So if you want to add times for Monday, that's where you'll see that more options show up. So it just moves to inside each day when you tap on it. You'll get that same options list. All right, so we're ready to start entering information here. So we'll choose our workday type. And you can see as soon as I did that, we get a warning. And that's because, again, this is Thomas who has an automatic deal memo allowance. So because I put a workday type, it knows that anytime I have a workday type, I get paid my allowance. So it automatically added my allowance for me, and I'm going to need to upload a supporting document for that. So we'll do our times here. And we'll do classic 12-hour day. And now, of course, I could go through each and every single column in each and every single row and do them one by one. That would take me quite a bit of time. So instead, I'm going to use this copy button here, and it's going to say, all right, for the times you entered on Monday, which days do you want to copy them to? So I can just select the rest of the week. And of course, I can still make changes if I need to. So maybe on Friday, we actually got out a little bit early. Oops, that's not zeros. I can make that quick update. But that copy button will save you time. Just choose the days you want to copy it to. You have a comment button right next to it. That's to leave a comment for this specific day on the time card, whereas this comments tab is just a comment for the whole time card. So you have the option for a specific day or the entire time card. All those comments either way are still going to be visible. So just keep in mind, it's not a private note-taking area. You can get rid of a day with the trash can. And something that may be worthwhile is this save button. I used to work on production, and I can tell you on a Friday night, when I get out at Friday night, I have no idea what happened on Monday. So trying to fill out my entire time card on Friday was way too hard. So this is when they still use paper time cards, I would grab that piece of paper on Monday, fill out Monday, put it in my backpack, then fill out Tuesday, put it in my backpack until the end of the week. That's what that save button can do for you too. You can enter your times on Monday and click save. And it's just going to save that time card, not submit it, just save it, and it'll be in your time cards list and show as incomplete. So if it's easier for you to fill out day by day, then go for it. Just click that save button as many times as you need, and it will only submit it when you actually choose to submit it. It'll just be in your list of time cards as incomplete for you to come back to and finish whenever you're ready. So you can see it's right where we left off. So definitely use that save button just to make it easier throughout the week to enter times. We do have our times in here, so we're looking pretty good. So now we can move on to our allowances. So we do have to upload our supporting document, but I do want to show how to just manually add an allowance as well. You can see this big add allowances button here. Click that button, it's going to automatically know it's a manual allowance that we're adding. You can find what you need. So maybe I did some driving around this week. I drove $45 worth. Just a nice round number of miles. You have the option to make that a live check if you want to get this allowance paid on a physical paper check instead of as part of however else you get paid, direct deposit or whatever. So we'll save that allowance. You can see, there we go. We got our manual allowance. We have our DMM allowance, which we still need a required document. So I'm going to upload that same document I used before. And remember, you can take a picture, upload a picture from your phone as well if you need to. Okay, looking good. Got our allowances on there. I can add a comment. I can say added my mileage allowance. They'll see it, but now you're just being even more helpful pointing it out in a comment. And we don't have a history because nothing has happened with this time card. We haven't submitted it. No one's approved it. So this will just grow over time once it goes through the approval workflows. But we're looking good. Everything is all set. We got our times in there. We fixed our allowance. We added an allowance. We added a comment. We're ready to go ahead and submit. So I'll click this submit button here. And just like we saw before, just entering your first and last name. And you're saying, yes, I approve. What I put in here is accurate and I'm not lying. And off it goes. Ready for department head. All right. I'm going to share those other resources real quick. And then, of course, I'll open up the floor to any questions that someone may want to ask out loud, but I'm just going to put these in the chat. This is our online academy. Completely free resource if you want to dive into a specific role, occupation, or you can also choose to go for a specific course. Like this one right here is essentially what we just did. All things time cards. You got some simulations. You can give it a try yourself, like adding times, adding supporting documents. If you've never taken a course in our online academy, when you go to register, just make sure that you are switching over to the sign up tab. This is a separate account from your MyCast and Crew account. You are creating a student account, so it saves all your learning progress. Another thing I can share is our YouTube channel. We have a bunch of very nice and short product training playlists. So I can share Hours Plus one. This is going to have a lot. So not all of them are crew member focused, but you can search within the playlist just for crew member ones. But we definitely have crew member ones in here. So lots of videos in there for you to watch. And then lastly, for anyone who prefers to read and look at screenshots, we have our support center. This has step-by-step instructions with screenshots highlighting exactly what you need to do. So you can bookmark this, you can print it, you can download it. So that's easier for you. I'll share the crew member section. You have that as a resource too. All right, go ahead and open up the floor to questions. If you're microphone shy, you can still type them in the chat. If you don't have questions, that's okay too. Feel free to leave the webinar just so I know you're all set. And thank you so much for attending.